First off, we've graphed them on number lines, but now we're going to graph them inside of a coordinate plane. So this is actually not that hard, and it won't take me that long to be able to teach you guys. So if I asked you right here to graph this equation, so ignore the inequality, let's just graph it. So, Nathan, graph this thing for me.
Well, y-intercept's at 2.
Okay, so our y-intercept's at 2.
And then maybe go down 5 and to the right 1.
Down 5 and to the right 1. Now, a couple things you should know. If the inequality is like this or like this, it's a solid line. If the inequality is like this or this, it's a dotted line. Okay? Everyone see that? So if the inequality is equal to, it's solid. If the inequality is not equal to, it's dotted. So is this one right here, is this one solid or dotted?
Solid.
So it's a solid line. So it's going to look like this. Okay. Now that's not the end of this right here. This is the new part. So every one of you should be able to graph using slope-intercept form. Now we're going to do something. Now we're going to do what's called testing a point. So only when you're dealing with inequalities do you have to test a point. Now the point you're always going to test is going to be 0, 0, which is right there. The only way you would not test 0, 0 is if the line goes through 0, 0. But this one right here, the line doesn't, so we're going to test 0, 0. Now what I mean by that is this. Whenever you're asked to graph an inequality, you're going to shade one side of the line or the other. Okay? Because there's a lot of answers. It's not just a line. There's a huge chunk of answers. So what we're going to do is we're going to test 0, 0. And we're going to see if it's true. So what we're going to do is 0, 0. So our coordinate we're going to test is 0, 0. And this is called the testing point. And what we're doing to see is if the inequality is true at 0, 0 or not true. So what we're going to do is we're going to plug 0 in for our y and 0 in for our x. And we're going to solve this inequality. So 0 is greater than or equal to 2. Okay, so that is false, right? Because 0 is not bigger than 2. So what we're going to say is false. Now listen, if it's true, well, if it's true, you're going to shade the part of the line where 0, 0 is. So once again, if it's true, you would shade the part of the line where 0, 0 is. If it's false, you're going to shade the side where 0, 0 is not. So because this is false and 0, 0 is on this side of the line, you're going to shade over here. There's going to be a button you click on, Alex. You're just going to click over here and it'll shade that side. Okay? So let's do another one real quick. I'll do one here in a sec that does it. So if we have y is less than negative 3x minus 5. So first thing is, it's a dotted line, right? So our y-intercept, stay quiet for me, is negative 5. From there, we're going to go down 3, right 1. So this one's going to have a dotted line like this. The reason why it's dotted is because it's not equal to, right? Okay, what point do we always test? Or do we want to? Does everyone know why I want to test 0, 0?
Because it's just as easy now.
Yeah, it cancels out everything, right? Because when we plug in 0 here, when we plug 0 in for this, it just cancels that out. Does everyone see that? So we're left with 0 is less than.
You threw in the line.
Not equal to.
It's not.
I didn't put that. You guys are seeing things again. So we have 0 is less than negative 5. Is that true?
Yes, sir. Wait, no, it isn't.
0 is not smaller, so if it was true, we'd shade up there, but because it's false, we're going to shade away from 0, 0. So if this happened to be true, we would shade the side of the line where 0, 0 is. But because it's false, we're going to shade down there. Now, Maddox asked a question. What about if we have an equation like this? Y is greater than 2x.
Zero.
What's our y-intercept?
0 is less than
Then we just test a different point.
0 is not less than negative 5.
Oh, wait, I'm thinking positive 5.
Yeah.
I'm smart.
Yeah. Yep, you are.
I'm very smart.
So, what about if we have this one?
You would think 0.
Our y-intercept's 0, and then we're going to go up to right 1, and it's a dotted line, right?
Righto.
So we have a dotted line, but the issue is now it passes through 0, 0. So what you're going to do is you have to test a point that the line's not on. So I always just go to right here. What's this point right there?
0, 1.
1, 0. Or you could do 0, 1 right here. I always just go to the right one. So the way you're going to plug it in is you're going to go 0, because 0 is our y, is greater than 2 times 1. Now, is that true? Is 0 greater than 2? No. So now look. We tested a point on this side, so it's false. So we're going to shade up here. Does that make sense?
You shade the side that you're not testing.
Yep.
Wait, hold on.
Ryan.
So, same question, y is greater than or equal to 2x. What if it's like that?
What?
So what if y is greater than or
Then it's
equal
just
to
a solid line.
It's just a solid line.
Well,
Okay, I want you guys to do this here. Try this on your own. We'll just do it real quick. Y is greater than or equal to 3x minus 5. I want you guys to do that one. Did I? That's almost the exact same one I just played in. Stop clicking the pencil.
Never true.
Is this one not again? Yeah, this one's true.
Oh, definitely.
I did it on purpose to make it true. Just because I knew somebody's like, are they always false? No, they are true too.
So once I have my 0, 0, I don't know what to do with it.
Plug it in for your y and your
For
x.
Y and your X.
Yep. Because it makes sense. Yeah. Where's your... Okay, so look at this one with me. What point do we test? 0, 0, right? Look, Carter. Hey, look up here. I always put an X where what point I test. Does everyone see this? So we're testing point 0, 0 again. I always put an X. That way I can see what side of the line the point we're testing is on. So if it's true, we shade where the side of the line where that point is. So when we plug this thing in, we get 0 is greater than negative 5, right? Which is definitely true. 0 is bigger than negative 5. So we're going to shade the side of the line where the point is. Okay, if this thing was false, we would have shaded over here. But because it's true, we shade where the point is. Okay? Because it's an inequality and there's more than one answer. So everything on this side of this line would be an answer.
Why is there only 4 questions?
That's it. Your homework's there. Go.
No way.
I told you it'd be easy today. Aren't you happy?